Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, guys. I hope all of you always be fine. And in this great time, I want to share to you about an important thing when we want to conduct some research. Last week, we have already learned about research methodology. So when we talk about research methodology, the important thing that we also have to know is about research instrument. Okay, I will share to you about research instrument. Okay. Research instrument. What is research instrument? Research instrument is a tool used to collect, measure, and analyze data related to your research interests. So if you wanna conduct a research, you need an instrument to for supporting you in collecting the data. And then what the kind of research instrument? Okay, this is the kind of research instrument. I will show you. There are 5 research instruments. The first is interview. Interview is divided into structured interview, unstructured interview, and semi-structured interview. And for the second is questionnaire. It's divided into 3. For the first is open-ended question, close-ended question, and open close-ended question. It is combination between open and close. And when we talk about close, that is divided into 3 dictonymous question, like card scale question and multi-choice question. The third is observation, divided into 2 aspects. The first is non-participant or participant observation. And for the second is covert observation or overt observation. The next is test. Test divided into 4, like proficiency test, achievement test, diagnostic test, and placement test. And the last is documentation. There are informal and formal documentation. Okay, for the further information about interview. Interview is an instrument that allows the researcher gather the data orally. So usually used by giving some question to the respondent orally. They want to know about her feeling, thinking, experience, opinion that cannot be observed. So you use interview. It is divided into 3. Okay, the first is structured interview. When we talk about structured interview, it is like a kind of conversation in which an interviewer asks an interviewee by using a set of questions. Usually it is used for a formal interview. You use tape recorder, and then the atmosphere is usually becomes stiff. The second is unstructured interview. The kind of this interview is about a question are not pre-arranged before. So it's like informal interview. And the interviewee take the control of the interview. And then for the third is semi-structured interview. It is combination between, it is combination. So semi-structured interview is like the interview take control the interview process, like unstructured interview. But the difference is about semi-structured interview is talking about some issues or topic with the format focus. Okay, and then for the next is questionnaire. Questionnaire is a research instrument consisting of a research of question for the purpose of gathering information from respondent. A set of questions that have arranged before. So you have already, so you are be ready for the question, and then you distribute to the respondent. It is called questionnaire. It is divided into into three. The first is open-ended question. Open-ended question is a question that cannot be answered simply. So you give freedom for the respondent in answering the question. And actually the respondent can elaborate the topic. And the second is closed question. This kind of questionnaire, the question can be answered simply because the researcher have already provided some option to be chosen. Closed question divided into three. For the first is Dick Thomas question. It is the kind of question that provide two possible answer. Like when you see about a question with the answer of yes or no, disagree or agree, true or false, fair and unfair. It's about the Thomas question. And the second is Likert scale question. It is kind of question that provide a scale or level, like strongly agree, and then agree, average, disagree, and then strongly disagree. And then the third is multi-choice question. Actually, the researchers have already provided some option to be chosen. Like you must choose A, B, C, like that. And then for the third is about open close-ended question. It is a combination between open and close-ended question. Okay, for make it better, I want to show you some example of questionnaire. For the first is open-ended question. This is the example. Like when I want to say, what do you like best about your product? What will you like to see improve on this application? So the respondent can answer freely. I mean freely. But so sorry because the example is not from educational question. Okay, for the second is close-ended question. The first is Dick Thomas question like this. Do you think you will use this new feature? Yes or no? Are you satisfied with the service? Yes or no? Okay. Second is multi-choice question. This is the example. What stopped you from purchasing the product? So there is an option that you can choose. The third is Likert scale. Okay, this is the example. Like there are some answer, some option that are already provided. Strongly disagree, disagree, agree or average, strongly agree, like that. And then for the last is open-ended questionnaire. Open-ended question Actually, the researcher have already provided some option, and you choose A, B, or C, and also the researcher provide a freedom answer. Like you can use, like you can see the example. There is other. Okay, and this is the third is observation. Observation is the active acquisition of information from a primary source. Actually, to knowing the attitude and then the process directly, so you must use observation instrument. So actually, the tool is about your eyes, your ear, and then like recording. Okay, divided into two fields. The first is non-participant and participant. When we talk about non-participants, so the researchers observe respondent without participating directly. And participant is the researcher observe directly and participating the process, so they can see by their eyes, their ears. And then the second is comfort observation and overt observation. Comfort observation occur when the subject unaware that they are being observed. And overt observation is the subject aware that they are being observed. Okay, the next is test. A test is a series of questions or problems that is used to determine a person's ability or understanding of something. Actually, if when you use test, it is to know about the competency, skills, ability from the student's individual, from the respondent's individual. Okay, the kind of tests, there are some kind of tests. Like the first is proficiency test. This kind of test is used to measure a learner's level of language. So you can use proficiency test. And the second, achievement test. The test that is used to develop skill or knowledge. And then diagnostic test, kind of test that is used to help diagnose some disease or condition. It is usually used in medical tests. And then for the fourth is placement test. It is to determine the specific knowledge and proposing the appropriate class. For example, if the students want to join some class, and then it should be do a placement test for determine where is the appropriate class for each students. Okay, and the last instrument is about documentation. Documentation is a communicable material that is used to describe, explain, or instruct regarding some attributes of an object. Kind of documentation, there are informal and formal. For the first is formal. So you can get some documentation from the institution, like a report and then files, and etc. And informal, when you get some documentation by yourself about your documentation in taking picture or about your daily book and etc. Okay, so this is the last. It's about question and answer session. I would like to open for 3 or 4 students to ask the question. So if you want to ask, say your name and show your face. Thank you. Hello?
Okay, Mbak Titis.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for your presentation today. Your presentation is very great. I want to ask, my name is Eka Novianti. I want to ask about the guideline. How you can, how do you make a guideline for the observation? Thank you.
Okay. How to make
guideline.
Guideline. How to make guideline?
Yes.
Okay.
In observation.
When you wanna conduct observation, and you must prepare the guidelines. So the first is develop an observation guide, or you make a checklist. And then the second is decide on the type of observation that you will use. And after that, don't forget to use a recording device. Yeah, it is help you to to memorize the result. And then beside you prepared about the recording type, don't forget also to bring a paper and a pen to record detail which cannot be recorded in a video or audio recorder. So after that you can you can combine with the result in the recorder and in your in your note. And then always observe ethics when implementing an observation instrument. I think that it's. Any other question?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
May I?
Okay, Mbak Elsa.
Okay. Thank you, Mbak Titis, for the great presentation. I understand what you have presented for us. I want to ask about, can you explain what suitable instrument that be used for experimental research?
Okay. Okay, thank you, Melissa. Would you like answer about the suitable instrument that can be used for experimental research?
Yes.
Actually, it is about tests. It was about tests, or maybe add about observation. But the important thing is about tests. When you want to conduct some research and experimental research, so you must prepare some question for pre-test and post-test to know about the students' proficiency, to know about the students' development before and after you apply apply the research, apply your method for teaching, like that. Okay, Any other question?
Me, Mbak Titis.
Okay, Bu Nining.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your great presentation. Yeah, it's really helped me to understand about the instrument. Actually, I'm still curious about the validity of the instrument. Is there any measurement about the validity in the instrument? The validity of the instrument, whether in the instrument is valid or not. Do you get my question?
Yeah, about the validity. Okay.
Yes.
That's a good question, Bu Nining. Thank you. About the validity, actually, when you want to distribute some instrument, you have to make sure about the validity of the data or the instrument. Based on Pak Ton's book, you can use triangulation. First, it is to combine result in a field and an interview result. I mean that to compare and combine a result from some observer. For example, when you wanna conduct some observation, so you can combine with, for example, there are there are observer in the class, so you can combine between 1, 2, and 3 person become one conclusion. And then to combine the research in the field when you conduct the research and interview result. So maybe you use interview by yourself. This is called triangulation method. And for the second is peer review. Peer review also help us to discuss together about an appropriate result. It is also important to know for each observer or interviewer perspective. And the third, you can use Alpha-Cronbach. It is like to know about the reliability that provide a method for measuring the consistency of the test. So actually it is like inside in the application that called Alpha-Cronbach. Or you can use some, pattern like R, alpha, C. Yeah, like that. I forget about the pattern. You can use pattern also. So after you get the, I added, you also can discuss with an expert. For example, for a questionnaire, yeah, it is help to us to get the data become valid, like that.
Okay, Mbak Titis, thank you very much for your answer.
Okay. Okay, 3 questions or anything else want to ask question? The time is 10 minutes left.
Mbak Titis, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Okay, how to reduce bias in questionnaire?
Oh yeah, how to reduce a bias in questionnaire? Okay, I will answer directly for Mbak Ola's question. It's about how to reduce bias in questionnaire. The first thing is you must make a clear instruction for questionnaire. Make sure that questionnaire is understandable for every student. Or maybe you can instruct directly when you want to distribute the questionnaire. Because sometimes when you write the instruction, any students didn't get what the point. So you may explain directly or orally in front of the class or in front of the respondent that being that being got a questionnaire. And then the second is make sure that your questionnaire is valid, because it's too important. When you distribute the questionnaire, but you didn't use some method to make it valid, so it will be biased. So the result it will be biased like that. Get it?
Get it. Thank you, Matitis.
Okay, you're welcome. I think stop. Okay, guys, I think that's all my presentation, and I hope that you can understand about the research instrument that I have already presented. So see you when I see you again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.